The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 580 WCHS, its employees, or WVRC Media. From the studios of WVRC Media, the country, the United States of America, the state, West Virginia, the city, Charleston. This is the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live. And your host.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
He's kind of a big deal.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Dave Allen.
And a good Wednesday morning to you. Welcome to the show. Senior producer Ryan Nicholson is in charge of things this morning. Guarantee Bank Hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. We're in the Jarrett Construction Studios, right on time, right on budget. Visit jarrett-construction.com. Phone calls to the show, a service of Guarantee Bank. 1320 Canal Boulevard, East Charleston. Guarantee Bank, your community, your bank, your story. Texting services provided by West Virginia's finest men's store. Tony the Taylor, Virginia Street. Tony welcomes in the USA Cycling Pro Road Championships to town this week. Now, because of that, he has adjusted the hours somewhat. He will be open today, 10 till 3, and actually every day, Thursday and Friday, 10 till 3 as well. Closed on Saturday. And don't forget, Tony's clearance sale is still going on. Great gifts for Dad available too. Check out bestmastertaylor.com or Tony's Facebook page if you need more information. Wednesday edition of the show loaded up today. Metro News meteorologist Brian Hughes says we're going to warm up just a tad today under sunny skies, highs in the mid-80s. Should be okay this evening, but some storms are going to roll in overnight and early tomorrow morning. We're going to have to, I guess, keep a close eye on those, Brian says. Overnight lows only in the low 70s tonight. Heavy rain possible overnight tonight, continuing through at least mid to late afternoon tomorrow. Heavy downpours, hail possible, damaging winds too. Should be in the mid-80s. A lot better for Friday. Good news for Live on the Levee. Less humid, sunny. Highs are going to be in the low 80s. Early call for the weekend. Saturday looking great. More storms going to arrive, though, by the time that Sunday rolls around. Download the Metro News television app. Follow Brian on social media for the best forecasts around. Coming up, of course, we're still talking about the WVU baseball team and their run in the College World Series. An impressive win over Troy yesterday. Now they have to face North Carolina at 1 o'clock today. If they win that, they have to take on North Carolina again. Jim Workman from the West Virginia Sports Writers Association of Wally and Wimpy Sports Digest is going to be here to talk about that. Speaking of sports, going to be joined by Taylor Kennedy from HD Media and locally the Gazette Mail to talk about a column he recently penned about out-of-control high school athletics. Now, I think Taylor is in Omaha covering the Mountaineers, so we're going to check in with him. Joe Stevens from the City of Nitro is here to talk about the opening of Ridenour Lake. And, of course, your calls and text are welcome, too. Programming note, the Talkline boys are on campus at West Virginia Wesleyan today to see who gets that full ride scholarship to Wesleyan. And through the West Virginia Scholar Program, they'll be doing their entire show from there starting at 10:06 this morning. Let's welcome into the show now our good friend Millie Snyder. How you doing, Millie?
Doing wonderful, Dave. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Did you miss me last month?
I not only missed you, but I also wanted to say congratulations for a great medical report.
Well, thank you.
All you have to do is stay cancer-free.
Yeah.
And you will.
I will.
Absolutely.
I will. I got a good bill of health. I mean, well, as good as it gets, for me. But I told all the listeners about that a couple of weeks ago. I'm actually completed radiation treatments. They say I'm good to go. And so
Wonderful.
Nothing until I don't have to go back until December,
Well,
so
that's the best possible news. And just keep on keeping on. That's great.
It's one of those things, guys. Get yourself checked because I had zero symptoms whatsoever, none, and I went in for a blood test, and that's when they said your PSA level is very high, and then I ignored it and went back the next year, and they said, okay, your PSA level is getting off the charts. You got to get it taken care of, and again. No symptoms. That's why they call prostate cancer the silent killer, because I had absolutely zero symptoms of anything. So bottom line is get yourself checked. Natalie Tennant sent in for me last month, of course, county commissioner.
She is delightful.
She's pretty comfortable around a microphone.
Yes,
so you guys had a good show.
We had a good time.
I was on a beach in Georgia. So
I'm sorry for you.
What's new with you?
Well, I went to the Jersey Shore.
All right.
And got a little bit color, little tan.
Okay.
And there's a very good friend who has a condo there for the summer months, and she invited me. So, of course, I couldn't say no.
Okay.
And it was just a wonderful time, just to get out of get out of Dodge for a few days.
You like the Jersey Shore? Because I've heard good. I've heard mostly good.
Well,
but I've heard some people
growing
don't like
up
it.
in Baltimore, we always went to Atlantic City. But the part of the Jersey Shore that I was at was Longport, and Atlantic City was like another 25, 30 miles going north. And I've heard that, it's kind of downtrodden. So we didn't even go to Atlantic City. But in my younger years growing up, going to the boardwalk and getting saltwater taffy and riding your bike on the boardwalk, that was a big deal.
Yeah.
And I remember those thoughts, very, very fondly. My brother was always arguing with me, and I was always losing because he was always older.
Some things never change.
That's for sure.
I have never been to a beach like north of Virginia, because although I've been to the Carolinas and Florida and Georgia, but I've never been to one north of Virginia. I'm presuming that you have. What's the big differences between everything?
Nothing.
And nothing. Same
the
water.
Ocean.
I guess just the stuff around it changes a little bit.
Yeah, but the ocean looks the same. But I tell you, when you lie outside to get some tan and the ocean air is blowing, you don't feel the sun, and it's just a great feeling. Wonderful. But I do want to tell you, you had no indication about prostate cancer, and I had breast cancer, and I went for a routine mammogram, and 2 days later I got a phone call that I needed to come back in, and that's how they discovered that I had early stages breast cancer. So I too am very, very fortunate.
And how long, if you don't mind me asking, how long ago was that?
That was in 1997.
Okay.
But my problem was called ductal carcinoma in situ, so there was no lymph node involvement. But when I had surgery, my surgeon got a clean margin, and all I required was 33 treatments of radiation. And 97 was a long time ago, and I'm very grateful.
Well, and, a lot of it is evolved even more, since then. That's what I've learned about when I went through prostate cancer. I learned because I would talk to people. And Danny Jones was one that I talked to, because Danny, of course, had prostate cancer, had his prostate removed, and Danny was one of the ones I talked to, and it's just come, the treatments for cancer in general have come so far than what they were 20 years ago, let alone going back a long time ago. So how's classes going? You're still teaching the Mediterranean?
People are getting more excited about Mediterranean, and we meet at the American Job Center on Leon Sullivan Way. But we only do a morning meeting, and that is 9:30. We start talking at 10. And Mediterranean, although it's called the Mediterranean diet, it's not a diet. The Greek used the word diet to describe a way of eating, but I hate the word diet. I always have hated it.
We use the term diet, I think, in our culture to mean you are intentionally trying to eat better, to lose weight. Diet, by its definition, is just what you eat. So you could you say,
yes, exactly.
You could say I have a healthy diet or I have an unhealthy diet. It's not so much an action. It's not an action verb, so to speak. I mean, it can be used that way, but diet is just basically food. It's what you eat.
Very few people say they have an unhealthy diet because they wouldn't ever give that information out to the public. They always blame it on something else, like heredity, or they come from people who were overweight. That's not the cause. The cause is what you put in your mouth. What I'm so excited about, and I stay excited because you don't come to the Mediterranean mindset, which is the name of my group, to lose weight. You come to learn how to eat healthy. And the change is so dramatic that you lose weight. And it's not an intentional.
And it's good. That's the thing about it. That's good.
It gives good an entirely new definition, because you're eating and tasting food as it was intended to be tasted, not with additives, not with loads of fat. Have you ever read a food label? It's pretty scary.
Yeah.
And in many cases, your mouth can't pronounce the preservatives because it's got a lot of X's and Z's, and I can't say it.
Sevens and question marks and whatever else is in there.
Yeah, and so I don't want to put that in my body. And our bodies don't know how to deal with that. And it causes internal inflammation, aging process. It causes organ dysfunction in many people from the stuff we're putting in. And our Creator had no plans for what to do with these foreign objects that we're eating. Mediterranean way of eating has been around for centuries. And really, when you think about it, that's the way they eat in that part of the world. Now, I say centuries, at least 100 years. A woman, and you may have heard about this, there was a lady who at 99 years of age went to the doctor for a checkup. And he said to her, how do you eat? So she told him, and he said, well, then you eat the Mediterranean way. Nothing was wrong with her. She didn't have one inkling of a medical problem. And as the story that was in the Wall Street Journal, actually, she continued living her life and enjoying. She made it to 117, and nothing was wrong. The reason she died at 117, everything wore out. That was it.
and there's not a lot you can do about that. Although your diet can lead, or lack of a healthy diet can lead to joint problems, can lead to all of these things.
And, people in today's world are using many of the weight loss medications, and they just want to lose weight fast, hurry up, quick, but they're not embracing food, and they're not embracing the changes of how to eat in a better, healthier way. Now, will all of that come to pass? Probably yes, but in the meantime, there are some side effects that are rearing their ugly head, and I'm never happy about that. I don't want to see people have to take a sad trip to gain their weight back or to have health problems, but it's an inevitability because weight loss is only a tiny piece of taking care of your health. It's not the only thing, and if we make it the only thing, then we're missing the bigger piece of the education around what to eat, how much, and that's what we do. We also, I believe, group support makes all the difference in the world, because you find out there are people who are just like you and doing the same thing or differently, but maybe I could try it the way you're doing it.
Yeah.
And it makes a world of difference. I have some great success stories in our group, and I invite people to come. The costs are very nominal, $25 to join, $12 a week, and that's it. There's no contracts, but showing up and being consistent and living the Mediterranean lifestyle is the way to go.
All right, remind people the times and locations of the classes again.
We are on we are at the American Job Center. It's on Leon Sullivan Way, Thursday morning, 9:30. We start talking at 10, and you're all welcome to come.
All right. Millie Snyder, we will talk to you next month. I appreciate you being here. Thanks a lot.
I look forward, and again, congratulations for your good news.
I appreciate it. 9:20, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Line, brought to you in part by Pinnacle Consultants, helping to identify environmental concerns like asbestos, lead, mold, indoor quality issues in buildings all across the state, providing inspections, testing, and accredited lab services you can trust. Check out pinnaclecorp.net, helping you understand your environment, because what you don't know can hurt you. Heading out to Ridenour Lake with Joe Stevens when we come back on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Are you a physical therapy assistant and looking for an opportunity in orthopedics, wellness, and athletic care? If so, Generations Physical Therapy is offering flexible work hours and an upbeat atmosphere. With 7 convenient locations, Generations may have a job designed for you. Visit generationspt.com.
Charleston, there's a new bank in town, but it's built on something timeless: relationships. Guarantee Bank is now open on the Boulevard, bringing community banking back to the Canal Valley. We're local decision makers, real people, and a team that understands West Virginia business. Whether you're growing your company, buying a home, or planning for the future, we're here to help. Stop by our new Charleston branch at 1320 Canal Boulevard and experience banking the way it should be. Guarantee Bank, where community comes first.
This is the summer your savings bloom, and we know how to make it happen. Right now at Members Choice West Virginia Federal Credit Union, you can secure a share certificate for 3.96% APY for 7 months or 3.44% APY for 13 months during our U-Pick special. Share certificates are perfect for growing your retirement savings, emergency funds, or any extra cash you have stashed. Lock in your guaranteed rate today by visiting memberschoicewv.com or calling 304-346-5242. Federally insured by the NCUA. Additional restrictions may apply.
Why do so many West Virginians choose the Payton Law Firm after an injury? Because Tom and Harvey Payton are from here, and they fight for their neighbors every day. When you're dealing with an injury claim, you need experience, straight answers, and results you can trust. Don't let insurance companies or out-of-state firms push you around. Call 755-5556 or visit PeytonLawFirm.com.
The attorneys referenced in this ad are lifelong residents and are licensed to practice law in the state of West Virginia.
Welcome back to the show, 923. I invite you to join me every Friday morning, 9:06 for the Adopt Me Please Pet of the Week from the Kanawha Charleston Humane Association, brought to you by Almost Heaven Interiors, family-owned, proudly serving the community for over 50 years, specializing in custom blinds, shades, shutters, upholstery, and beautifully crafted sewn goods from homes to hospitals, classrooms to commercial spaces. They do it all. Located at 516 D Street in South Charleston. Guarantee Bank Hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5000. Text says, those weight loss drugs are dangerous. They make you not want to eat at all, which is not healthy. Just eat healthy and stay away from all the crap, says the texter. There's so much going on in the Valley this weekend, from bikes to the Tour de Cole and Yak Fest, just stuff going on everywhere, not the least of which is happening Saturday on West Virginia Day, the opening of Ridenour Lake. Joe Stevens, spokesperson for the city of Nitro, joins us now to talk about it. Good afternoon, sir. Good morning, or whatever it is. I never know what
show we on today.
I never know what show I'm on, man. You should catch me on our classic rock station, cheap plug, Sunday afternoons, noon to 7 on 98.7 The Mountain, because, I may very well say, Bruce Springsteen, you're on the air. I mean, I stay in a state of confusion with all the shows I do, but appreciate you being here. Let's start again. Good morning, Joe. Welcome to the show.
David, my brother, it's good to hear from you, too. And, hey, by the way, isn't it great to be in Kanawha Valley this weekend? I mean, from one end to the other. If you can't find something to do this weekend that is outside and enjoyable, you're not trying. I mean, to tell you, from Charleston to St. Albans to Nitro, things are rocking this weekend, buddy.
You got a lot of stuff going on. I mean, Bike Town USA, right here in the heart of Charleston. I mentioned the Tour de Cole and Yak Fest, and you guys are opening up one of the most beautiful places around, Ridenour Lake. Talk about it.
Well, it's now we've kind of rechristened it as the Ridenour Lake Preserve, because a couple of years ago, the city council, looking ahead to the future of just playing outside in your backyard kind of thing, was able to acquire over 200 acres of land adjacent to Ridenour Lake, with a plan of expanding the trail system out there. And that trail system is now done. It was constructed by a local mountain bike trail builder, Tracy Toller, with Adventure Trail Systems. He worked on it for almost 18 months or so, and we now have 21 trails open that surrounds Ridenour Lake there, right there on the hillside. And it's just, we're cutting the red ribbon at noon on Saturday. But just to, kick everything off, we are starting at about 10 o'clock around Shelter 5 and around the lake and on the trail system and everything. But we're going to have free kayak rides. We're going to have free paddle boat rides. DNR is going to be coming out there to make sure, kids are learning how to fish the correct way, and just some boat safety and that sort of thing. We don't have any gas-powered boats on the lake. It's all paddle boats and kayaks and that sort of thing. We're going, and starting at 10 o'clock, we're going to have a 5K and 10K race. The cool thing about that is the city is picking up the tab. There's no registration fee. The Appalachian Timing with Ricky Campbell and everything are coming out there, and we're going to do a 5 and 10K race. The same courses for both, and they will start at the same time. 1 lap for the 5Kers, 2 laps for the 10Kers, and we will have gift cards for the winners in the various groups, and probably some folks just showing up to run, like Dave. If you just showed up to do the 5K course, you would get a Tudor's gift card. So that'll be happening. And again, you can pre-register at Appalachian Timing, aptiming.com, or you can register when you come out. No fee, just strap on the shoes and do it. I'm going to have a food truck out there. We're going to have free water. Got to have a lot of other things going on. Free. We're going to do some guided hikes and that sort of thing. At 12 o'clock, though, we're going to be doing the ribbon cutting of the preserve right at the trailhead out at Shelter 5. People might know it as also the dog park area, but right there at the trailhead, we're going to be cutting the ribbon, and about 12:30, we're going to be doing an 11-mile mountain bike race. So, Dave, nothing happened at Ridenour Lake Preserve on Saturday. And I love nothing at all.
I love what's going on with the preserve, like you said. I mean, to take that property, because Ridenour Lake is already great, and people come from all around for that. But you add into that what you're doing around it, Joe, and it makes it even better.
Yeah, without a doubt. And it's not only for, you think of mountain bikers and everything, but my office is right at 21st Street and 2nd Avenue, and I count 15 to 20 mountain bikes heading out there every day already. They love the trail system. And again, in Kanawha Valley, we are blessed with some great trail systems from the Meeks Mountain in Hurricane to Ridenour Lake here in Nitro to Kanawha State Forest out in the Charleston area. So we got a hat trick here for mountain bikers to enjoy. But also, we've got hikers going out there all the time. We've got runners going out there all the time. And so it's just a fun way to be able to have some fun outside in the fresh air.
Talking to Joe Stevens again from the city of Nitro, 929, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by the all-new Generations Ford of Hurricane. Visit generationsford.com. And meteorologist Brian Hughes has done his job, Joseph. The weather on Saturday looks absolutely picture perfect. I know it's Wednesday, things can change, but right now, Saturday looking really, really fine.
Well, drop something in Brian's tip jar for me. I do appreciate that forecast. And if people want to know how to get to Ridenour Lake and they haven't been out there and they want to come out there and enjoy a really fantastic free day, it really is a free day, and to have some fun, all you got to do is come on Route 25 or 1st Avenue in Nitro, find 21st Street, turn on 21st Street. There's only one way to turn on 21st Street, and follow it out 0.8 of a mile, and you will see Ridenour Lake will have a sign pointing you to either parking or the Shelter 5. And things, like I said, will be getting underway at 10 o'clock, but we'll be open at 9 o'clock for people coming out for information. LaFleur Lucas, the executive director of the Kanawha Valley CVB, will be joining us out there so people can find out what else is going on throughout the Kanawha Valley area. We had, some other information booths. Hey, you had major rains on from the Nitro Police on midday a couple weeks ago, talking about safety and the e-bikes and everything. Well, actually, we're going to have the police department out there on Saturday, kind of giving a safety class, what you need to think about, what you got to look for, and that sort of thing. So, Patrolman McClellan and will be out there, and also Lieutenant Ricky. They'll be out there and just giving an up to date on that sort of thing. We will also have the fire department out there talking about boat safety and just safety on bikes and everything. And we're also kind of showcasing the rescue side by side that the fire department has, that the community pitched in, and that's used for various things out at the lake on search and rescues and that sort of thing. But it's just an information family day. Come out and have fun. It's all on the city of Nitro.
All right, Joe. And you guys do a great job on your social media, so I'm sure you get information about it there. And again, tell us what time everything starts out there.
Well, the 10K races and the 5K races start at 10 o'clock. So come on out. We'll be getting out there about 8 o'clock, and you can come on out. Things will be happening. 9 o'clock really when it gets underway with the kayaking and the paddle boats and that sort of thing.
All right. Joe, keep doing great things there in the city of Nitro. My friend. Oh, by the way, how are the Orioles doing? I haven't checked them out. How are your O's doing?
Lost 3-1 last night, scored one run in the first, and then Logan Gilbert for Seattle, kept us hitless until the 8th. So let's turn the page on that subject.
Okay, please. Well, all right, let's because I know you're a baseball guy. What about those Mountaineers?
Hey, you know what? I mean to tell you right now, in the honor of their win yesterday, we actually had a free movie in Living Memorial Park. We had it already scheduled, but it worked out pretty well. We had Sandlot last night in Living Memorial Park. But I tell you what, from top to bottom, 1 to 9, I love watching those kids hit. I mean, I love watching those kids hit, and I love McDougal out of Bridgeport coming in and just saying, here it is, guys, let's line it up. And the they play like a team. It's not one person and that's it. They play like a team, and it's fun to watch. 2:00 today against the Tar Heels. Let's go Mountaineers.
All right. Joe, appreciate you being here, my friend. We'll talk soon. Thanks a lot.
See you, brother.
All right.
Be safe.
Joe Stevens from the city of Nitro. We're going to be talking a little bit more about the Mountaineers. Jim Workman, who is with the West Virginia Sports Writers Association, also with the state's premier sports publication, Wally and Wimpy. He's going to join us a little bit later on. And continuing to talk about sports, but this is not really a sports story as much as it is a societal story or sociology story. Taylor Kennedy is a writer for the Gazette-Mail, full disclosure, used to work for us. And Taylor wrote an article that appeared about a week or so ago, I guess, in the Gazette-Mail that got a whole lot of attention about the state of high school athletes and how many people think we all love high school sports. We just came off a great state softball tournament, followed by a great baseball tournament. We all cheer on our teams in our respective schools and whatever, but a lot of people have got some issues with high school athletics. We're going to talk to him about that coming up a little bit later on the show. Something else that's got a lot of people talking is data centers. And, it's all the discussion everywhere you go, all over the state of West Virginia, literally all over the country. Hoppy Kercheval sat down with three people with three totally different perspectives on data centers. Chris Morris, director of the West Virginia Data Economy Office, Amy Margolis, executive director of Tucker United, and Dato Slezik, executive vice president of energy infrastructure investments at QTS data centers. Hoppy has, he's already talked to Chris and Amy. Those are the first two. The final one in the series of three will drop tomorrow night on Metro News Television at 7:30. And again, three totally different perspectives. You watch, you make up your mind. The first two are available on Metro News Television. The third will drop tomorrow night at 7:30. Download the Metro News Television app and check it out. Presented by Hope Gas and by Greer Industries. Text says, this needs to be addressed by all Democrats now. 19-year-old Tyson Proper from Ohio charged in connection with an alleged plot to attack Sunday's UFC event at the White House involving explosive-laden drones near the UFC arena and shooters targeting people as they fled. Proper listed GOP lawmakers from West Virginia's congressional delegation as the people we're going to focus on, including Senators Jim Justice and Shelley Moore Capito, Representatives Carol Miller and Riley Moore. Proper also made sympathetic comments about Adolf Hitler in a group chat. And I will say this, it did not stop there because I was having a conversation with a House of Delegates member. Now, out of respect for his privacy, because I don't know whether he's gone public with this, but there is at least one House of Delegates member that found himself in that chat as well. Appreciate the text. Text says, is Trump really giving Iran $300 billion? Did Trump spend billions to attack Iran, use a large portion of missiles, raise prices and inflation, and sacrifice American soldier lives just to give Iran at least $300 billion? WTF is wrong with him, says a texter. 25 away from 10, we are going to check in with our buddy Jim Workman, talk a little Mountaineer baseball and some other things too, coming up on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses bring first-class businesses to your community.
Hey, this is Bobby Spry, and last year we purchased a new HVAC system from West Virginia Heating and Cooling. During the inspection of our old unit, their technician discovered a crack in the heat exchanger that was slowly leaking carbon monoxide into our home. From that moment on, we knew we chose the best technicians and the best service. Every technician is drug tested and background checked, giving our family peace of mind. When it comes to protecting your home and family, trust the best. West Virginia Heating and Cooling.
Spring is finally here, and it's the perfect time to let your home blossom on the inside. Give your space the fresh start it deserves at Nitro Carpet and Design Center. Whether you're looking for the timeless beauty of hardwood, the comfort of new plush carpet, a bathroom remodel, or kitchen refresh with custom cabinets and countertops, we have it all. Stop by our massive showroom today at 201 New Golf Mountain Road in Cross Lanes. Nitro Carpet and Design Center. Locally owned and design focused. Your dream home starts here.
Running a business in the Kanawha Valley means dealing with a lot at once. Customers, employees, deadlines, and 100 little problems that pop up during the day. Technology shouldn't be one of them. At Next Level Technologies, we help Charleston area businesses keep their systems secure, backed up, and running smoothly so the workday stays on track. If you're spending too much time dealing with computer problems, it may be time for a better approach. Learn more at nextleveltech.com. Next Level Technologies, practical IT, strategic outcomes.
Welcome back to the show. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Huston's Pizza. This month, get a large 18-inch pepperoni pizza and any whole 10-inch sub, $23. Check out your local Huston's today for dine-in delivery pickup at HustonsPizza.com. Mountaineer Baseball back in action. College World Series this afternoon, taking on North Carolina. Jim Workman keeping a close eye on that, as he's also watching his beloved Cincinnati Reds today. We hook up with him, I think, from the road on his way to see the Reds. Jim, of course, the head of the West Virginia Sports Writers Association, along with being the guy behind Wally and Wimpy, the state's premier sports publication. Jim joins us now. Mr. Workman, welcome to the show.
Hey, Dave. Hey, I don't think I've been on since it's been announced that you're going into the Broadcasting Hall of Fame. So, man, what a big deal. That's great. Congratulations. I'm proud of you.
Well, thank you, man. I do appreciate it. I hope you can attend the ceremony. It's toward the end of October. I don't know the exact date off the top of my head, but it is in Huntington. So hopefully you can attend.
You know what? Wild Horses couldn't keep me away. That's a Rolling Stones reference.
And by the way, that's my all-time favorite Stones song, just so you know. Wild Horses is my all-time favorite Stones song.
Mine is Can't You Hear Me Knocking? Look that one up.
No, dude, you know how I work at a classic rock station on the weekends, man. You don't have to tell me to look up anything. I'm a big Stones guy. Dead Flowers and the whole deal, man. I'm all into all of it. All right, so you're on your way to Cincinnati to take in a Reds game. Is that right?
That's right. They're playing the Mets today at 12:40, first pitch. I'm sure you guys are broadcasting it on one of your stations, but yeah, I'm going to be there.
All right. Let's talk about WVU. They got that big win over Troy. I mean, and I say big, there's a record-breaking win over Troy yesterday afternoon. Now they got to take on a team that beat them on Sunday night, and they got to beat them twice, North Carolina Tar Heels. And, of course, that game is coming up this afternoon from Omaha. What's your take on this Mountaineer baseball team in general?
Well, it was really encouraging when they came back and beat Troy 12-0 after dropping that game. I know there was a lot of WVU fans that kind of got discouraged when they got beat by North Carolina, but they got a chance to beat Troy again, eliminate the Trojans, and now they get another shot at North Carolina. And as you said, they're going to have to beat them twice. But, you know, after they take care of them this afternoon, they got a day off, and they play them Thursday, and I'm confident they're going to the weekend and play in the 3-game series to win it all, man.
What has this meant for the West Virginia sports programs in general, particularly the baseball I mean, because, look, WVU's had some good baseball teams over the years, but, I mean, they've struggled as well, and there was some talk at one time that they might even do away with the baseball program at West Virginia University. What kind of a shot in the arm, Jim, has this been for WVU to be able to pull off this season that they have, do what they've never done before in hosting a super regional in Morgantown? We all know how crazy that was. And then to make it to the College World Series. What does this mean?
It's huge. You know, in our lifetime, West Virginia Mountaineer Baseball was sometimes an afterthought. It almost seemed like a club program. They didn't have a nice stadium. You didn't you didn't really pay attention to baseball. It was just a spring sport that, you know, a lot of people didn't follow very closely. And that thing changed about 15 years ago when they made a little more commitment to baseball. Of course, Oliver Luck gets a lot of credit for that because, you know, he knew, you know, if we're going into this Big 12, we have to get serious about baseball. And they did. They made the commitment. Of course, Ken Kendrick is a big supporter, and he put his money where his mouth was. And, you know, that ballpark's amazing. It's something that's going to – when you have the facilities, you can draw the players. And when you're on television and when you're in a Big 12 conference, you can recruit players. And that's what's happened. And, of course, it's very important to get a good coach. Maisie was in there, and now Saban. So they're on their way. And, you know, they're going to be one of the top 4 teams left in the nation playing this week, I believe. And, you know, the nation has been able to watch it on national television. And, you know, it's never a bad thing when you're ending a game with an exciting win when they're playing Country Road for everybody in the nation to take part of that celebration. I think we've actually grown the fan base nationwide this week.
And every year, and we talked about this on Midday yesterday, every year, whether it's this College World Series, whether it's the NCAA tournament, there always tends to be one or two teams that really stick out that, maybe people aren't aware of, don't have a rooting interest in, and they just kind of get behind them. And this has been this West Virginia program. I mean, of course, everybody in West Virginia is cheering them on, but I mean, they have been the talk of the nation. I mean, they've been the talk of ESPN. They've been talk of baseball fans everywhere. They've just kind of adopted this team as a Loyola from a couple of years ago, or one of these other teams that makes the NCAA basketball tournament, Jim.
You're absolutely right. And we've seen it happen a few times. I think in 2010 when WVU went to the Final Four and Deshaun Butler was there, they won the first game. They went to the finals, but that was a tremendous boost for the basketball program. Of course, that was Bob Huggins, and that was a good story. Him coming home to West Virginia, and then we've had it in football. When we played in some of the big bowls that we've played in, and you get the Owen Schmitz and the Pat Whites become, household names across the nation. We've had a taste of this, but the way the baseball tournament works, it's sustained for about 3 weeks straight. So that's pretty amazing. Yeah,
it is. We're talking to Jim Workman again, head of the West Virginia Sports Writers Association, and also Wally Wimpy Sports Digest. I know that you're on the road, and I'm not going to keep you long, but I did want to mention, I know you guys the sports writers are handing out postseason awards, and I know you're driving right now, so I don't expect you to try to read those off to everybody, but this is award season right now, right?
That's right. So, the high school season is over now, so we are finishing off our all-state team. So let's see. We released the AA all-state softball team today. Mm-hmm. The single A the day before that. So tomorrow we'll be releasing the AAA all-state softball, and followed by a quad A on Friday, and then Saturday we're going to be naming our softball player of the year. So same with baseball next week on that same schedule. A, AA, AAA, Quad A, and Player of the Year next week. And then, we'll be done for a little while and anticipating football season. It'll be on us before we know it.
Indeed. All right. And you got an event I want to give you a chance to plug. You got an event coming up Thursday night. Talk about it.
That's right. Thursday night. This is our 8th year doing a Wally's and Wimpy's night on the 3rd Thursday of each month at the Buffalo Wild Wings in Cross Lanes. We always have some great prizes. We're going to have a grand prize of movie night for 2 at the Regal Theater there in Cross Lanes, where if you win that prize, you get 2 movie tickets. You get to pick your movie. You get a large popcorn and 2 drinks. That's a really cool prize. Then we've got some Dirty Birds tickets and just some miscellaneous things that we give away. This fall, we're going to be giving away WVU football tickets, Marshall football tickets. So always a good time out there, and Buffalo Wild Wings just recently did a renovation out there, and it's a great place to watch games. So I invite people to come on out.
All right, Jim, let's go Reds and let's go Mountaineers. Appreciate you being here, man. Thanks a lot.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you. Thank you.
14 away from 10, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. If you're injured, visit forthepeople.com. Text says, Wild Horses, Can't You Hear Me Knocking, and Dead Flowers, all on the same album. However, Exile on Main Street is the greatest album of all time, not debatable. That text coming from a musician friend of mine, whose name happens to be Mike Pushkin. All right. I got to throw that in there for you, Push. 14 minutes away from 10. Text says, this is from Forbes. President Trump not directly giving Iran $300 billion in U.S. taxpayer money. Instead, the administration is considering a private investment fund of that scale, backed by Gulf nations and global corporations, contingent on Iran's compliance with new peace agreement. That from Forbes, according to a texter. We'll take a break. Come check in with Taylor Kennedy when we come back on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
The Dave Allen Show is presented in part by Generations Ford in Huracan, part of the Eric J. Tarr family of businesses.
My name's Chris Miller. I'm president of Dutch Miller Automotive. Jarrett Construction completely renovated and helped redesign Dutch Miller Kia in South Charleston. The fit and the finish and the quality of the project is exceptional. He has an attention to detail and an eye for that kind of stuff. You always want to give your best to your customer. It's just as important to him as it is to you. If you're ever looking to build anything, I'd call Jared Construction because you know exactly you're going to get something excellent every single time.
Call on Jared Construction.
At Poca Valley, your savings deserve Simply More. The Simply More Money Market is designed for people who want growth, flexibility, and convenient access to their money when they need it most. Whether you're building your savings or planning for the future, Poca Valley is here to help you make the most of every dollar. Ready to learn more? Visit PocaValleyBank.com, call 844-782-2651, or stop into your nearest Poca Valley branch today. At Poca Valley, relationships matter. Member FDIC.
What if the market drops after you retire? What if healthcare costs continue to rise? What if you outlive your savings? If these questions keep you up at night, you're not alone. And you don't have to figure it out alone. I'm John Burdett with 4th Avenue Financial, and I specialize in retirement income planning. Let's turn your what-ifs into a plan you can count on. Schedule your free consultation today at 4thavenuefinancial.com. 4th Avenue Financial, retirement done right.
Securities offered through Jenny McCole Financial Incorporated, member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through Jenny McCole Advisors Incorporated.
Happy birthday, America.
Hi, this is David McCormick. In 1961, John F. Kennedy challenged the nation to land a man on the moon. Just 8 years later, that goal was achieved. In America's 250 years, the moon landing remains one of the most ambitious efforts in human history. This America 250 fact is brought to you by Omega Commercial Interiors. When it's time to upgrade your office furniture, buy American, buy local, and buy Omega. Visit us at OmegaCommercialInteriors.com.
Welcome back to the show. It is 11 away from 10 on a Wednesday morning. Trojan Landing Marina Power Sports along with WVRC Media Charleston present another Ride and Riches. Your chance to win a Segway UT6M side-by-side and $1,000 in cash. Now, you can register at a variety of places, including Captain Holstein's Family Entertainment Center, Eddie's Tire and Service in Poca or Winfield, 7th Boutique and Beauty Bar, Family Healthcare Centers in Charleston and Tays Valley, just to name a few of the places. If you're chosen as a winner, we'll call you. Then we need you to join us at Trojan Landing on Saturday, July 18th, starting at 10 a.m., and you must be present to win. So get to one of those places I mentioned. We got a whole list of them available on all the websites, so go check it out. Somebody's going to win that Segway UT6M side-by-side plus $1,000 in cash from Trojan Landing. Welcome in now, Taylor Kennedy. You read his stuff locally on the sports pages of the Gazette-Mail and with HD Media. Good morning, sir. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Dave. How are you?
I am doing fine. Are you with the Mountaineers in Omaha?
I am. I'm out here with your old Greg Carey and been out here since Wednesday. So it's been quite the experience, but it's been a fun trip overall, and hopefully that can continue today.
Now, if you're running with Greg Carey, you're in bad company, man. I'm just saying, okay? I'm just telling you.
Well, as someone that's worked with him for 5 years before this, I'm well aware of that.
All right. So how do you like the chances of WVU against North Carolina today, Taylor?
I think it's relatively well. I think it's a good chance just because obviously this team has a lot of resiliency. Their response has always been good throughout the season. And where they're at right now is very similar to where they were during the Morgantown Regional when they dropped that first game to Kentucky 11-9 and then rattled off 3 consecutive wins in the Morgantown Regional, which led to the Super Regional victory that won by winning with 29 runs combined in 2 games. So I think the response and the resiliency is going to be really key for this team. And, you know, whoever they throw out on the mound, you got to have confidence regardless. So, and right now they're playing with house money. You know, you're 2-1 in the College World Series. You could not pass that up if somebody told you that earlier in the season and say, hey, you're going to go 2-1 with a chance to play for a national championship. You're one of the 4 teams remaining out in Omaha. You take that every single day.
Especially when they had that blowout regular season loss to Pitt. I mean, people would have thought that you were smoking something if you'd have said that at that time. It's just been a great story all around. Taylor, you wrote a piece last week that's gotten a lot of attention and was in the Gazette-Mail, and you say some of our high school athletes need a reality check. Explain that.
Yeah, Dave. So I think in a lot of ways, as a society, I think this immediate gratification that has been continued to be a theme amongst not only adults, but also now trickled down to our youth has become more and more apparent. And what I mean by that is just look at social media. Like I said in my column, if I've seen it once, I've seen it 100 times, maybe 1,000 times. I don't know. Regardless, I've seen so many kids commit. Let me say that again. I've seen so many kids commit to a high school of where they are going, whether it's locally, whether it's statewide, whatever it may be. I've seen the graphics thousands of times. And a lot of these kids, you know, from what I've seen, since I do follow high school sports very closely, a lot of these kids don't amount to this attention that they're drawing themselves. And when they do this, now you're like, okay, then why are you bringing all this attention to yourself when you're not able to back it up? So if they're not able to back it up, what's the point of making a graphic except just continue to bring attention towards you, continue to bring this quote-unquote immediate gratification that continues to be a playful thing and just continues to get thrown around loosely in our society. I keep telling people, I've been holding on to that column for a while. And I don't know when it was. I don't want to call anyone out. That's not who I am. But I saw like 4 consecutive ones in about a week span. And I'm just like, enough's enough. Well, and there are sites, and we all see them on social media. And I'm not begrudging anybody if they can make money off of it. I'm talking about the people, but about transfer portals for middle school kids. This is going to be our current lineup, and we're doing transfer announcements, Taylor. Transfer announcements for high school kids. They've entered the transfer portal, and they're going, and I'll just make up a school. They're transferring from East Kanawha to West Kanawha. I'm just totally making that up, but you get what I mean by that. I mean, these are high school kids we're talking about, the majority of whom are not going to play a single down or a single moment or a single inning of sports beyond high school. The majority. The numbers don't lie. Yeah, and I think in large part, too, I also mentioned this in my column. I mentioned 2 specific athletes that did announce where they're going on social media, but also have legitimate, cases as to who they are. People know who they are. Now, I'm not saying that I'm agreeing with it. I'm just saying, for example, Natalie Smith transfers from South Charleston to Nitro for girls basketball, went on to lead them to a state championship game. She was a household name at the West Virginia Sports Writers Association's all-state meetings. David Robinson Jr., one of the best running backs, not only in the Valley, but also in the state. He's also a household name, and he committed and announced that he's transferring to Herbert Hoover. So you have certain situations where you have some kids that can back it up, and they can obviously attest to the success that they've had following a post like that. But at the same time, I'm not agreeing with it. And as I've said before in a previous column, I'm fine if you transfer. I'm fine if you transfer, as long as you're doing it for the right reason. If you're just transferring just to transfer, you're just transferring just to get a ring, that's not – coaches pay attention to that. Mm-hmm. I've spoken with several college coaches, not just in this time frame, but just throughout this whole transfer portal chaos. And loyalty is so big in college sports. Regardless of what people think, it's still big. It's still relevant. And when they see these kids transferring to 2 or 3 different schools before this law got passed recently, they see that. They pay attention to that. And these kids think they can just get along and, it's all fine and dandy. Sorry, newsflash. It's just not going to be able to cut it whenever that day does come. And you're thinking, okay, am I going to get that college scholarship? Am I going to be able to go play at this university or play for this coach? Tough luck, because they do pay attention to that very closely. Have you gotten any blowback or any feedback from parents on this? Because, let's face it. The kids aren't doing this without, if they're responsible parents, if this is an issue, mommy or daddy or grandparent or somebody's going to go, all right, take that down. I'm paying the cell phone bill. You take that down. But so some of the parents are obviously on board with it. I just wonder, have you gotten any negative feedback from any parents or grandparents? That's a great question, because I was actually thinking that yesterday, and I started going through the different posts of people sharing it and commenting on it and everything. I'll be surprised. I've only seen one of several thousand shares, or several thousand views, I should say. Mm-hmm. I just haven't seen anything. So now I'm thinking, okay, are you just being a social media warrior and saying, yeah, I'm with you, but then you're going to turn around and you're going to go do it with your kid? Or are you actually standing firm on 2 feet and making your own bed and saying, yeah, I agree 100% with what he's saying? And it's quite frankly, that's for them to decide and the man above. But, I don't, I've been very surprised in the fact that I have not seen it. I will say this, though, and that's a good question you brought up, too. Someone brought this up, and it kind of made me chuckle. Mm-hmm. one person said, well, a lot of the parents that allow this type of behavior or allow this type of stuff with their kids are trying to live out their own dream because they want to see their life through their own kid instead of the kid actually living their own life and being able to make their own decisions. So I thought that was really interesting. I actually kind of chuckled at it. And it just goes back to, I know you're probably the same way, but, you know, I have two parents, I should say, that were like, you're going to do this, you're not quitting, you're not leaving, you're not doing any of this. That's not who you are. That's not who we are.
Mm-hmm.
That was a strict rule. I go all the way back to the 5th grade by saying that.
Same.
But it's just one of those things where you just grew up and you're just like, you were raised, and I know I'm only 26, but I sound 56 when I say this. But,
hey, there's nothing wrong with being 56, all right?
No, not at all. No, not at all.
I'll be 56 in September. That's why I said that, but go ahead.
But it's just one of those things where you just grew up differently, and now something has shifted. And again, I think it's this whole immediate gratification through social media that people are latching onto like bear with honey. So that's just where I think it's all originating from. But yeah, some of these parents that are just living their lives with their kids, that's who needs the reality check, in all honesty.
All right, Taylor, I got to leave it there. Let's go, Mountaineers. Enjoy your time out in Omaha. I hope we get a couple of Mountaineer victories. And if so, we'll have you back again real soon. Great talk. I appreciate you being here.
Yep, thanks, Dave.
Taylor Kennedy again, Charleston Gazette-Mail and HD Media. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by your hometown baseball team. The Charleston Dirty Birds are on the road this week at Hagerstown. They're back at Gomart Ballpark next Tuesday night to start a series against York. Check out dirtybirdsbaseball.com. All right, not a lot of time left. I do want to tell you the USA Pro Road Bike event continues in Charleston today. Hard closures start at 5, and once you're locked in or out, you're locked in or out. So the best thing to do is go to the Facebook page of the City of Charleston. Spelled out very nicely there. I've also shared that over on Dave Allen Radio. I'll be back later today with Metro News Midday, 13 News and Tonight Live anchor Amanda Barron and me. Of course, Amanda has been she was down there, I think, till late last night doing the TV thing. She'll be back in the radio thing today with me. Wonderful West Virginia. We got that for you today. We'll go out to Omaha and keep a close eye on the Mountaineers. Greg Thomas is going to join us today, and Chelsea Ruby, State Tourism Secretary. Coming up on tomorrow's show, I'm excited about this. Michael Eric Dyson. You've seen him on Meet the Press and all the news shows. He's in Charleston. He'll be on the show with me tomorrow. See you later. Till then, have fun and love somebody.
WCHS AM, 96.5 FM Charleston, and 104.5 Cross Lanes, a WVRC media station. We're proud to live here too.